what I want to discuss is the 4 stages of addiction and how it affected my family and it affected my son, my oldest son, and he was raised in a Christian home. He was loved, treasured, raised in church. He he was he was so much more than he ever believed he was. So, let's start with the stages of what I call stages. And the first stage was he had dental work done. And when he came home with pain medicine. And I made sure he took the medicine, as needed. And he took all of it. He I didn't see any signs of anything. He took the medicine. Later on in his journey, he told me that's when it started. He found somebody very close to him, and whenever he got around them, he would tell them, I'm hurting, and they didn't have a problem sharing a pain pill. I didn't know this either. He was 17. We have addiction deep in our family, both sides of my husband's family and mine. We wanted to do things differently with our family. Of course, we raised them in church. We love and treasure each one of them. We just did things differently. And we never, ever expected this to happen. We didn't allow alcohol in the home. We didn't like alcohol. Alcohol had ruined so many in our family. We had no desire to even smell it. Like it affected us that deeply. I'd lost friends, lost family, just didn't. No desire. The only drugs that we take is prescribed drugs. And we went by the rules on that. We didn't share. We always did what we were supposed to do. So um we just believed that we were doing things right. Well, along the road, he tried um smoking pot. I didn't know it at the time, but then I found out. He confessed. We had a very, very long conversation about marijuana. Is it addicting? Can he live with it? Can he live without it? Is it great medicine? All the things. And my words to him were, this is a gateway drug for you. This is something that our family cannot play around with. You cannot just recreationally use marijuana. You just can't. We argued back and forth. Um, I kind of stopped him from going to where he was going to see his friend who, you know, it was okay if they did it there, but it wasn't okay for me. And so we went back and forth for a while. And I just kind of figured if he stayed within where I could see him, if I knew where he was at all times, um, it it would just pass. Well, it didn't pass. He was a good boy. He was a great teenager. He was caring, responsible, all the things. But he had already gotten addicted to whatever he could take that gave him that high. So that was stage two. The smoking pot was stage two. Then the third stage, he he started using other drugs, and I didn't know. I didn't know, and I noticed that he would meet friends at the driveway, but then they would never come in. They would never get out of the car. He would just meet them at the edge of the driveway, and you know, he did that for a while, and then we noticed some valuables getting just disappearing. We noticed, money gone. And the last thing you do is think that your kid is doing this. But but he was. Um he began pulling away from the family. He began just kind of being very distant. He began pulling away from the church. He began just being tired, not just not himself anymore. I noticed that he would sweat, just pour sweat, and I'd be like, "What? Are you okay? Are you sick? Do you feel bad?" I just went down the whole mama trail, you know, all the things, and nope, he wasn't sick, you know. And then I noticed some other little signs. So we ended up having a conversation with him. I asked him if he was doing drugs. I asked him which ones he was doing. He told me. Um, we had a very long conversation. It was very emotional. He didn't want to do this. He didn't want to be like this. And so he just told us he would quit. He said, I don't have to go here. I don't have to do this. And so, he was holding down the job, and by this time he was probably about 22, 22. So it'd been a very long time. Um, you think that by loving, doing what's best, protecting, all the things, that it would prevent this, but it didn't. He moved out on his own and was holding down a job until he didn't. He um, he messed up. So he lost his job, and one day he called me and he said, "Mom, I'm losing everything. I can't do this anymore. I need help." So we um, we brought him home. We talked. We prayed. We cried. There was promises. And I wanted so bad to trust him. And we tried. So now we're entering the fourth stage of this whole story that I'm telling you. And the fourth stage is rehab. Finally, he fought me, argued with me about rehab. He did not want anything to do with it the whole time. I couldn't make him, and but when he came home and he wanted things to change, he was ready. In the last year of his life, he went to what I call a 3-day program. He would go in, detox, whatever they call it. And 3 days later, he would call me and I'd go get him. He'd come home. He did that several times. He went into two 28-day programs. And the last time he came out, he was a changed person. He had vision. He had a dream. And he was making plans. He was going to be a counselor. He said, I want to help people. I want to make a difference in people's lives. I want to quit living like I was and help people. I don't want them to get to where I am. And so we started all over again. New trust. Not full range of trust, but enough. And we fought for him. We fought through prayer. We fought through showing him love, helping him get his life restarted again. We took him on a vacation. We were there. He had been clean for it'd probably be 2 months, and I couldn't leave him at home by himself. So at 24 years old, I said, "You just have to go with us because I can't leave you out in the cold. It's winter time, and you can't stay in the house." So he went, and he did okay. But we went as a very big group with family. And he was getting pain pills. And I could recognize that we were struggling. So I did everything in my power to pull him back. Just pull him back. And well, we came home from vacation, and we were home. And on day 6 that we were home, he got the drug that he had been on before. Same amount, same dose. And he left this world without saying goodbye. He would not. He would not leave on purpose. But addiction had him so strongly that he left. He died. Um, oh boy. And that was 11 years, 3 months ago. And it's like yesterday. Hindsight is perfect. In hindsight, I see it as 4 stages. His first experience with pain medication. The pain medication made him give him a high. And then, the second stage is when he would started smoking pot and convinced himself it was okay. The third step or the third stage is when he didn't think the pot was enough. So the same people he was getting the pot from helped him get the other stuff. And then the fourth stage was the fight for his life in the last year. And that's what I'm here to say today is these things. As a parent, you do the very best you can. You um you raise your child, you love your child, you fight for your child. And there are some cases it is just out of your hands. Because if love was enough, he would still be here. But it wasn't. If I had to give any advice, it would be never stop praying, never stop believing, and never stop fighting. There are people that get through addiction and they win, and their families win. Be that family. Fight to be that family. If it's too late and you are like my husband and I, who very much wish we had good news to share, but the only good news I have to share, which is the best news, is that even though he died, I believe he's in heaven. I have to believe that. I have to believe I will see him again. I would say if you have the same story as I, it may help someone. When you're ready, share your story. When you're ready, because it may help someone. And I pray this helped you. I pray that my story means something to someone else. I know it's very, very important to us. He was one of 6. And I miss him terribly. So, if you would please subscribe to my channel. You can see other parts of our story that involves our other children, our daily lives. We have great stories to tell. If you will, like this video and please leave a comment if this story meant something to you, If you highly disagree, if you totally agree, if you want to talk about something different, leave me a comment. I answer everyone. Thank you for lasting this long. I appreciate you giving me your time. And go check out my other videos. They're all good. And we will talk to you soon. Bye bye.